Hello, I'm here to share the news about an exciting initiative that seeks to create global peace and harmony through transformation of local communities where you could play a decisive role. If that appeals to you, please spare a few minutes of your valuable time. That initiative is called Colors for Scholars. Colors for Scholars was initiated at the University of Plymouth on the 17th of November 2023 to coincide with the International Students' Day. At the time of its inception, it was designed to be a soft, polite, gentle reminder about the value that international students represent in a backdrop of increasingly hostile and negative discourse. International students are indeed worthy of celebration, if not for anything else, for the sheer courage, the sheer determination, the sheer guts of leaving the safety of their homes, traveling thousands of miles in pursuit of education, in pursuit of empowerment. And obviously, they add to the value of local communities that they call home for a short while. One, they are net contributors to the economy. They add vibrancy, diversity, and then over the longer term, they represent the promise of our future because they are not only learning valuable disciplines, they are learning the invaluable skills such as cultural awareness, communication, team working that will help them to become leaders of the future who are looking from a global unifying perspective. So we wanted that to be gently reminded to the communities, even as the message was becoming increasingly dark. We were amazed by the response. Amazing, beautiful people from 9 countries joined us on that day, on the 17th of November. And when we looked back to reflect on what we had achieved, indeed, we had sparked a moment of temporary happiness, but we didn't create change. And that was because we failed in our primary objective, which was to foster unity, harmony, and well-being within local communities. But we tried to do so by celebrating diversity by focusing on a small subpopulation. We did not create the opportunity for the wider community to be co-owners of that campaign. And what had happened since, especially the events of August 2024, when there were UK-wide riots, has told us that we need to do things differently. And indeed we have. We have completely revised our approach to Colors for Scholars. And the primary way we did so was to redefine the word scholars. So scholars no longer mean international students, but they actually celebrate people who engage in scholarship. And that so-called scholarship are the people who work within local communities, who serve to enrich them and foster its well-being, its unity, its diversity by doing things within that local environment. And in doing so, they bring about change that sometimes is not possible by engaging at high level. So let me take an example. I come from a country in the global south, and conditions like diabetes are rampant everywhere. And part of the reason that diabetic foot ulcers can be so harmful to some communities is not just the prevalence of diabetes, but the lack of footwear. And yet we have cultures where people have their own ways of making footwear. Some that has been passed down generations, some which are absolutely innovative, like making footwear out of worn out tires. And yet we don't applaud that achievement. It happens right in front of us, but we don't recognize its value. And what happens then is because of that lack of appreciation, those arts die with the people who create them. They are not passed down generations. We are saying, let's pause. Let's look at people who make the real impact to our community. Learn from them. learn how they went about doing what they do, learn the challenges that they face and how they overcame it, so that that can be cherished for future generations. Then those are the scholars. The learning is the scholarship that we should applaud. And thereby changing our focus, expanding this to look for real scholarship where it matters within local communities. We are not only celebrating diversity, we are enshrining in inclusivity. And by creating an opportunity for things that matter locally to be highlighted, we are championing equity. And that is our new approach. And that is how you can play that decisive role. Create a small group, look around us, and then ask us ourselves, what can we do to foster the well-being, the unity, the peace, the safety of our communities? And then find people who can make that happen and create that change. Please share that knowledge among your local communities. But even as you do so, share it with the wider world so that we can compare each other's initiatives and learn to become better people by sharing that knowledge. And that is our role. Please share what you do. It may be in the form of writing, it may be podcasts, it may be videos, it may be annotated photographs. Share it with us and we will spread it around the world. Last time when we inaugurated Colors for Scholars, it happened on one day, on the 17th of November 2023. Now we have set ourselves a time period of 5 years in which we do not just seek for this message to reach every country, but within every lived community within the world, so that together we can begin to call for a pause and undertake that transformation where we begin to look for the beauty that resides within our communities. And by doing so, we'll actually be creating a moment where people who live in our communities begin to feel their self-worth, begin to belong to the community. And it is only if we get that sense of belonging, if we have that sense that we are appreciated by those around us, that we can then embrace others who join our communities. Be they people who are coming back having lived generations in our communities, or be they people who are coming from elsewhere. We will see people for their real value because we understand our own value well. So please help us spread this word. Please help us propagate this message from one community to another over the next 5 years. So by the time we come to the 17th of November 2029, the whole world would know what Colors for Scholars stand for. That we are celebrating scholarship in the place where it matters most, the local community. The 17th of November 2029, incidentally, is the 90th anniversary of a very sad event that actually was responsible for inaugurating the International Students' Day. On the 17th of November 1939, the Nazi troops stormed Prague University and other universities of what was then Czechoslovakia. It brought death and misery to many. That is what caused us to commemorate that event on the 17th of November. Within 90 years, we want those sad events to be the catalyst of a change that will happen at grassroots level, of a change where scholarship begins to be recognized as an inclusive entity that brings unity and maintains the well-being of local communities. Please contact us. Own this. This is for you to own and make it your own. Teach us how we could be better people. Teach us how we can drive this campaign in a meaningful way into every community within the world. Thank you.